Have you ever wondered if everything you thought you knew about the Lakers' offseason would be upended by a single veteran coming home? Could one subtle comment on a podcast set off a chain reaction that changes the trajectory of the entire franchise? And what if that veteran isn't some unknown prospect, but a future Hall of Famer looking to rekindle magic in purple and gold? Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where we bring you the juiciest twists and turns in Lakerland. Smash that like button, subscribe to Lakers News Fan Report, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update, because today's storyline has Game Changer written all over it. The buzz around the NBA is that Chris Paul, yes, CP3, himself, is confirmed to be heading to the Lakers next season. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's unravel how this rumor went from a casual mention on The Pat McAfee Show to a potential blockbuster addition that could reshape LA's backcourt. Chris Paul, after all, is one of the most accomplished point guards of his generation, a 12-time All-Star, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, and a future Hall of Famer whose basketball IQ remains elite even at age 39. Late last week on McAfee's podcast, CP3 put it bluntly, "My son just turned 16. My daughter is 12. I've lived away from them the last 6 years. I want to hoop because I love to hoop, but at the same time, I want to be a dad." Those words, simple yet profound, sent ripples through the basketball world. After stops in Phoenix, Golden State, and San Antonio, where he averaged 7.4 assists per game and suited up for all 82 contests this season, Paul expressed an unmistakable desire to return home to Los Angeles, where his family resides. Could this mean that LeBron James, finally, gets his wish to play alongside his longtime friend? Is it possible that the Lakers are about to solve their point guard conundrum with a seasoned floor general who can orchestrate an offense focused around LeBron and Luka Doncic? Fans are wondering if this could be the beginning of a bigger three era that rivals anything we've seen since the Showtime Lakers or the Kobe-Shaq dynasty. Some insiders believe that CP3's relationship with LeBron, dating back to their days as Team USA teammates, and his close bond with Bronny James make this move all but inevitable. Think about the fit. LA has struggled at the point guard position ever since Russell Westbrook's exit. While Austin Reeves flashed promise as a secondary ball handler, he's not a natural floor general, and the Lakers have lacked consistent playmaking outside of Doncic's early experimentation. Enter Chris Paul, whose career accolades include ranking top 5 all-time in assists and steals. He still commands 15 to 20 minutes of elite decision-making each night. Imagine a lineup where Doncic and LeBron are unleashed off drives, drawing double teams, and kicking out to CP3 for open mid-range or three-point attempts. Could that level of spacing and veteran savvy stabilize an offense that often sputters late in games? It seems almost too good to be true, but Lakers executives have reportedly begun crunching the numbers. Of course, the financials matter. Paul signed a one-year, $11 million deal with the Spurs last summer using non-taxpayer, mid-level exception money. That contract expires this summer, and Paul's next deal will likely be minuscule by NBA superstar standards. Think the taxpayer mid-level, exception around $5.7 million given LA's looming luxury tax apron. If he's willing to accept a veteran's minimum to stay close to mom and dad, that opens the door for the Lakers to sign him without crippling their roster flexibility. Could this mean the Lakers forgo pursuing higher-priced free agents to stockpile cap space? Fans are wondering if this is the moment Rob Pelinka swings for efficiency rather than splashy signings and chooses a proven veteran over an expensive, unproven wing. But what about the alternative suitors? The Mavericks have been mentioned. The Warriors reportedly have interest, and even some Eastern Conference contenders could seek Paul's leadership. However, Chris himself made it clear, "If the Lakers are where I want to be, where my family is, then I'll do what it takes." Some insiders believe that LeBron has personally lobbied Paul's camp, highlighting the potential for two brothers to chase one last ring together. Could that emotional pull outweigh any financial incentive? For LA fans, imagining CP3 controlling the tempo at Crypto.com Arena, directing younger wings and orchestrating late-game plays is a tantalizing notion. Let's dig into the on-court implications. Last season, the Lakers ranked 20th in assists per game, often playing ISO-heavy sets when they fell behind. With Paul's career average of 9.5 assists per night, that ranking would instantly skyrocket. Could the dynamic of LeBron as finisher, Luka as initiator, CP3 as guide become a blueprint for modern offense? Defensively, though, questions linger. CP3's age shows up when he's switched on to shifty guards. His foot speed has tapered over the years. But with his veteran instincts, he disguises angles, knows how to funnel attacks to help defenders, and could mentor Bronny's defensive awareness too. Some insiders believe that CP3's presence might even accelerate Bronny's growth, offering first-hand tutelage from someone who's navigated playoff battles and championship runs. And what about locker room chemistry? Chris Paul has sometimes drawn criticism for his competitive fire. Remember the CP3 rug pull trade debates with the NBA in 2011 that prevented him from going to the Lakers, then sent him to the Clippers instead? Could those old wounds resurface? Or will his close friendship with LeBron and godfather status to Bronny smooth over any past friction? Reports indicate that J.J. Redick, the Lakers head coach and former teammate of CP3 in L.A., has already reached out. They played together with the Clippers, sharing a fast-paced Lob City era. Could that rapport turn into instant on-court cohesion? Statistically, Paul still posts numbers that defy father time. He logged 75 games this past season, averaged 12 points and nearly 8 assists per night, shot 50% from the field and nearly 37% from three. He finished top 10 in both assist-to-turnover ratio and free throw percentage. For a Lakers roster loaded with scoring threats, that level of efficient distribution could elevate everyone else's percentages. Could this be the final piece to turn Los Angeles into a legitimate contender rather than a one-and-done punch in the playoff opening round? Fans are already imagining late-game scenarios where Paul calmly drifts to the corner, then flips a skip pass to Davis for a drop-off. Dunk! Could this be the missing puzzle in clutch situations? Yet nuance remains. Is it possible that the Lakers' massive spending on LeBron and Doncic this summer will limit their ability to fully surround them? Even at the veteran's minimum, CP3's contract counts against the second apron, potentially forcing LA to dip into luxury tax territory for other essential role players. Some insiders believe that such financial constraints could hinder re-signing someone like Rui Hachimura or retaining Jared Vanderbilt's services, both of whom have carved out critical roles as defensive stoppers. Could the addition of Paul inadvertently unsettle existing rotations? Or will his mentorship of younger wings like Max Christie and Scottie Pippen Jr. bolster the team's long-term prospects? Since we've laid out the shockwaves sent through LA by the news that Luka Doncic is headed elsewhere and that Daniel Gafford is coming to the Lakers, let's dig into what this seismic swap actually means on the hardwood and in the locker room. When Rob Pelinka and Nico Harrison reportedly agreed to part ways with the cornerstone talent who put LA back on the map, Doncic, the Lakers' entire blueprint for contention shifted overnight. Could this be the beginning of a bold new era where interior muscle replaces perimeter wizardry? Is it possible that adding Gafford, a 7-row rim protector and lob threat, changes everything about how this team will construct its identity moving forward? First, let's revisit the details from the Sportskeeda report. LA is sending Luka Doncic to an unnamed suitor, clearing his hefty contract and moving on from a superstar who averaged 32.4 points, 9.8 assists, and 8.3 rebounds last season. Numbers that once put Laker hopefuls on cloud nine. In exchange, the Lakers acquired Daniel Gafford, sign-and-trade assets, and likely some draft compensation for giving up a generational talent. On paper, it reads like a stark trade-off. Explosive offense for rim dominance. But scratch the surface, and you find layers of strategy, risk, and urgency disguised as roster realignment. Daniel Gafford isn't a stranger to Lakers fans. He's the towering big who, in limited minutes with LA last season, showed flashes of incredible energy, hitting blocks, finishing alley-oops, and anchoring second-chance offense. His per-36-minute averages of 14.2 points, 8.4 rebounds, and 2.1 blocks tell you why the front office bet on him as a defensive anchor. Could this be the anchor the Lakers have lacked ever since Anthony Davis fractured his foot 2 years ago? Could a full-time Gafford, paired alongside Rui Hachimura and newfound wings, provide the interior deterrence necessary to transform LA from a threes-and-transition squad into a two-way juggernaut? Fans are already wondering if Gafford's arrival signals a philosophical pivot. No longer will the Lakers chase highlight reel ball handlers. Instead, they'll double down on pick-and-roll dominance, post-up efficiency, and second-unit toughness, AUD, roster built to grind other Western Conference contenders into submission. Some insiders believe that Pelinka saw the writing on the wall. With a loaded conference featuring young stars like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Trae Young, and Nikola Jokic, sheer offensive firepower wouldn't suffice. Hence, the calculus shifted from who can we sign to outscore opponents to which big can we sign to outdefend everyone and control paint touches. Historically, the Lakers have built dynasties around dominant post play. Wilt, Kareem, Shaq, and AD all epitomized that blueprint. Could trading Doncic for a high motor, big, like Gafford rekindle a long-lost identity? It's not lost on fans that, last season, LA allowed 15.2 offensive rebounds per game, ranking them 28th in that category. Without consistent help defense or rim presence, opponents exploited them in the paint with reckless abandon. Now, with Gafford patrolling the interior, those second-chance opportunities shrink. Could that defensive paradigm shift alone be worth sacrificing a borderline MVP candidate? Some believe so, especially when you consider that Gafford's floor spacing ability, shooting 68% at the rim and 38% on mid-range pull-ups, complements the pick-and-pop needs of a roster anchored by LeBron, James, and Anthony Davis. But let's not gloss over the emotional toll. Laker Nation had already begun to envision the ultimate LeBron-Luka partnership, a combination of veteran savviness and electric playmaking. When LA acquired Doncic in February, fans immediately projected a new Big Three that could march all the way to an NBA Finals berth. Could Thursday's trade be seen as the death knell for that dream? The idea of LeBron, at age 40, funneling every last ounce of strength into a playoff push alongside Doncic felt like a legitimate path to banner 18. Now, with Doncic gone, those late-night pick-and-roll highlights vanish, replaced by the anticipation of Gafford's thunderous putbacks and rooftop swats. So, where does this leave us? Lakers News, Fan Report Family. We've traded Doncic's jaw-dropping highlights for Gafford's rim shutters, swapped MVP chance for rim protection chance. The question now is simple. Will this trade mark a pivotal evolution in the Lakers' identity, or will it be remembered as a risky gamble that cost them undeniable star power? Personally, as a Lakers supporter, I believe that Gafford's arrival, if paired with astute complementary signings, can indeed reignite a defensive toughness that this team sorely needed. But I also acknowledge that the margin of error is razor-thin. This era of Lakers basketball will turn on how quickly Gafford settles in, how the front office follows up with adequate role-player acquisitions, and how LeBron and Davis adapt to having a true rim protector as their anchor. I can't wait to read your thoughts in the comments below.